Welcome to Chamber Exchange, a TV show. My name is Tim Murray, President and CEO of the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce. And Chamber Exchange, a TV show, is an opportunity for us to bring on members and guests to talk about business and economic development in central Massachusetts as the Chamber of Commerce pursues its recruit, retain, incubate agenda. And very happy to have, well, first I want to thank my sponsors who helped make the show happen, Bank Hometown and St. Vincent Hospital. Now, very happy to have with us as our first guest, Kelly Mittal, who is the founder and CEO of My Kidz Day. Kelly, welcome.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here, Tim, today.
Yeah, well, maybe you could share with our viewers a little bit about My Kidz Day, and it's MIKIDZDAY, all one word. Maybe you could share with us a little bit about what your company is.
Yeah, so My Kidz Day is an education technology platform. It's a comprehensive childcare center management system to help the daycare providers go paperless in this digital world. So it helps them better communicate with the parents, it helps them manage their day-to-day operations, and it also helps them meet state licensing requirements. So using My Kidz Day, daycare providers can send real-time updates to the parents. They can share pictures, videos, reminders, things like tomorrow's picture day, please remember to dress up your kids. But at the same time, it also equips them with to manage their day-to-day operations like attendance tracking, enrollment tracking, or even their financial management like payment tracking, expense tracking. So in essence, we are not only helping the daycare providers keep the parents informed, included, and reassured in real time, but we are also helping them be more successful as business owners in this digital world.
Right, more efficient. So, one of the things, we talk about on the show and with 2,100 member businesses that are and organizations that are part of our chamber, the majority of them being small businesses, there's a limit, when the owner or the management team is usually very small and their core mission is to focus on the delivery of a good or a product. And so oftentimes you've got to contract out or look for efficiencies for the administrative or back office operations or marketing or promotions. And it sounds like you've put together an app or software, if you will, that for daycare providers kind of can take care of a lot of things so they can focus on care and education of the young people.
You got it. So I just wanted to point out that 17 million children in US alone, they spend a better part of their day in the daycare, like outside home. So better parent-teacher communication, it's not just critical in like day-to-day care of a child, but in full family engagement and in realizing the full potential of the child. I just wanted to bring out, the reason that I started this company. It all came from my own personal experience as a mom. I am a software engineer. And when my first daughter was born, I was working full-time as a software engineer at Mittal. I had to leave my few months old daughter crying every morning at the daycare, not knowing how her day went. Did she stop crying? Did she eat? Imagine if someone had sent me a picture of her smiling, that would have made my day. Right. So that was the primary reason that I had created this app, so that parents, moms and dads both, could go to their work with that peace of mind, knowing how their child is doing while they are away in the care of another person. But since then, it has really grown into a full center management system, and like you said, to also help the daycare providers run their centers more efficiently.
And so you mentioned now it's the #1 rated child care app for parent communication?
Yes. So we have, it's used by over 40,000 users in US and Canada.
Wow.
By about 450 some centers. We also work with a lot of in-home providers, so smaller family care providers which are taking care of 6 to 10 kids. But we also have clients ranging up to YMCAs, YWCAs, centers running multiple locations throughout the nation, as well as some in Canada.
Yeah, you brought up a really important point, I think, for our viewers who may not realize. We have a shortage of daycare providers or early education providers in Massachusetts, but the providers, that early education, that daycare, is delivered in a variety of different ways. In some cases, it's school systems. Oftentimes, it's private providers who may cover a region or the state. But much of it is the home, at the home,
Yes.
people doing it in
Yeah.
their homes.
Yeah. Yeah. Childcare industry is very fragmented, and I would say that majority of them are in-home providers, people who are taking care of a small number of kids at home. My daughter started at in-home care, and I just loved it because the kind of attention that they can get. And those are the people who are, they are wearing so many hats, right? So they are taking care of the child, but they also have to make sure that they are communicating with the parents, but at the same time, they also have to do their expense tracking, payment tracking, the management of the
Right.
operation. So you want to give them something very user-friendly, very easy to use, which will reduce the time and effort that they are spending in managing their day-to-day operations, and they can focus their attention in taking care of the child, which is their primary job.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to achieve with My Kidz
Right.
Day.
Well, generally, as a Chamber of Commerce, we're not, advocates for over-regulation, but in the instances of childcare, daycare, there are state and I believe federal
Absolutely.
regulations
Yes.
around, reporting and certifications that early childcare providers, daycare providers have to have, and tracking things, especially in terms of how they might get paid.
Yes.
Sometimes there's government programs that assist with this cost. So having a company with attendance and management, and so if the state's coming in and doing a review or an audit, you want to have all that stuff.
And that's a very, very good point. So childcare industry is a very subsidized industry, and so the state requires the daycare providers to maintain attendance logs. It also requires, especially in the case of special need children, where this parent-teacher communication is even more critical,
Right.
to track several data points. And food program is huge here, and so using My Kidz Day, they can not only track attendance, what time the child came in, what time they left, who signed them in, who signed them out, but they can also track what meals were served, what time were they served, how many they were served. So we track all of that, and because it is digital, the report creation is automated. So the daycare provider is not having to sit down and create those reports. As long as they are tracking those data, the reports are automatically created, which can be directly submitted for reimbursement. So that process becomes very, very smooth, both for the state and for the care providers,
Right.
and more timely too. They're getting their reimbursements in a timely manner.
Right, which is important to cash flow, right?
Absolutely.
So how are you getting the word out about My Kidz Day?
So Chamber of Commerce is definitely helping. This interview helps. I also did a radio interview with Hank a couple of weeks ago.
Hank Stoltz,
so
yeah.
I am very,
Talk of
very
the
appreciative.
Commonwealth, yeah.
I'm very, very appreciative of Worcester Chamber of Commerce. And then we do social media these days is very, very big. So, advertising on Facebook, Instagram, things like that. But we also do educational webinars. So we are educators, and so we organize several events throughout the year, educating the daycare providers on how to better manage their budgeting, right? How to build enrollment using social media marketing, things like that. So we also indirectly reach out to the providers through those educational webinars.
And that's the other point we can end with this, is that in addition to this management and tracking, also that communication is, all the studies have shown daycare, early care is education, and when there's an educational component to it, the trajectory of and the success of those students as they go through their academic career are better results.
Absolutely. So I'll just give you an example of when I used it as a mom. So when my daughter was attending Montessori school right here in Southbridge, actually, and they were using My Kidz Day app to communicate with parents. And usually the conversation when a child comes home is, how was your day? What did you do? And they'll more likely than not, I don't remember, it was okay, kind of a thing. So one day the teacher sent a note on my Kidz Day saying a big red truck came to school today, ask your child about it. So when she came home that day, that's what I asked. I heard a big red truck came to school today, what did you guys do, how was it? And she engaged with me, like we had a very engaging 20-minute conversation. So it's not just, just not knowing, how her day was or how, did she eat or did she nap, but it also can lead to like more quality communication between parents. And I get a lot of, notes from dads who are so much more involved in their child's life because now that they know how their child's day went during the day, so they're able to have more meaningful conversations at the end of the day.
Great. Now, well, Kelly Mittal, founder and CEO of My Kidz Day, and if people want to learn more, you have your .com, MYKIDZDAY.com.
You got it, yes.
Right.
And you can also find the app on App Store, Apple App Store and Google Play Store, and you can download it for free and create a free trial account.
Great, good stuff. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Come back for our next segment. We'll be right back.
These days, you've got your hands full in life. That's why we help you bank simply and securely with tools like Face ID and Touch ID. It's why we make it easy to make purchases on the go and get cash back while you're at it. Why we help you quickly deposit checks wherever you are. And it's why we lend a hand with sending and receiving money right from your phone. So even when you're on the move, you can manage your finances. Bank Hometown. Unlock your potential.